Go.
Novelty Soundbytes. Oh shit.
Anonymous Podcast.
Yeah, I smoked a lot.
It's the text.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go into it.
Yeah, but so I mean, does he need some direction on where to look?
I mean, do you want him to look at the camera? Or?
I don't know.
I think if he's kind of talking to you.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you can just. But
Cool.
yeah, okay. So 2004 to 2007, you have an event. You have some sort of artist, the DJ, the people. Like, how do you actually connect those dots? How do the people know what's going on? Like, there's no social media, there's no Facebook, there's no Instagram. Like, how do the people know?
I mean, basically then it was really text, email, distribution, the word of mouth. That's how we were all connected. I mean, as in any corporation or anybody that's really doing things, you're constantly putting your product out there to the right folks and get it in the right hands. So at that time, we were already our movement was already pretty big. This was the tail end of New York kind of fading away from our movement and going into all the big dogs out here, the big owners that you see now in Vegas and all over. They were leaving New York at the time. They had already run its course. I mean, I had the Lotus and the Planet Hollywood going on there, Times Square, meatpacking. But besides that, the scene was already starting to go downhill. It became an arrogant situation where people were like, oh, you're here for me, let me create this, it's about me, where I was about the people looking for those in the same mindset to join me. They were already joining with me at that time, so how can we keep that moving? But the higher forces that were coming into power were not with that. They wanted more control of what they felt they wanted to do. Where I was always telling everybody at that time, why don't you do that in your home? If you want to do what you want to do, place that in your home. Then you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But now you've got people coming out to actually spend money with you. Shouldn't you be about them? Still with your swagger, but still, it's about them. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day.
So this is a question that these guys are gonna want to know. Did you ever have any clue what's going on, like, in the Virginia market?
I mean, I went to school in, West Virginia. I went to Morgantown. So I kind of already knew what the South, Midwest, and all of them was, they were doing. They were trying to catch up to us. They were the folks that were coming to party with me were coming in from all over because they heard this is great. I know you need to be at this party. This is different from everybody else. And certain ones took that back to their hometowns in the South, D.C., and implemented what they learned from me down there to take it to the next level in their neck of the woods. Which you see most of the people in these parts of the country, they have mega clubs going on. They're able to pay for bigger artists and stuff. That's the entertainment in their neighborhood that up here that we started providing. Who we're dealing with. They're taking all of that. Every place else is taking what we showed them here in New York, and they're providing it in their backyard.
So let me ask you this question: How does promotion tie in with, like, the DJ and, like, the radio station? Like, is there even a tie in there? Is there even a?
Well, you have different crowds. You have different crowds. Basically, just like a luxury brand now, they have commercial brands. You have the super luxury, then they have the commercial brands that are for people that can afford to play with that every day. So then you have folks that are radio driven. Then you have folks that, I was never a big proponent of the radio. Like, my clients, they listen to radio because they have artists. They're trying to get into the music game. So they have their artists on radio, or they're trying to hear that their artist is being played on whatever they did with that DJ at the end of the day. But I could honestly care less if you're on radio or not, because that didn't translate into customers coming down. Certain ones did. Camilo he's one of the few exceptions.
Yeah.
And you have now a DJ Self, who does his own parties.
Mm-hmm.
Certain DJs do their own nights,
Mm-hmm.
which is, they know how they got their fan base. They know how to build their own nights. Other ones are running from that. They just like, oh, give me a payday. No, but it's just like you're an artist. If you're in this game, who do you think pays your bills anywhere, in any corporation? I was just telling a person that worked with us, I said, how do you think these corporations built up? The fan base is what has them making the millions and billions at this point. If you don't have a fan base, you're not going to make a damn thing, ever. So you might as well keep your day job, or you might as well figure out who's going to pay you how you want to get paid. You might as well just go work at Kmart, because no one always going to pay you.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, I'm fabulous, just give me money. No. That's why, we started all this. We're independent, even though we have our day job, so we can fuel our own businesses and build that fan base who has the same mindset as we have.
Yeah. Because a lot of people think that, so you might have an artist that's good, and then you don't hear them on the radio. And then people think, well, that artist fell off or they disappeared. But in reality, it's like they're out, doing shows, whether they be in New York or in Virginia or some other market, performing, probably a lot of times making bigger paydays and being more successful outside of, I guess, what the radio considers the public eye, kind of.
Well, of course, because they have a fan base. They built up a fan base. There's a whole group of folks out here that don't want to hear what's on the radio. Technically, radio program director is supposed to be bringing you what's new and what's hot, not what they think is hot or who is paying them at the end of the day. They're all bought into a system where, okay, you're paying me, I'll play this. I'm going to repeat the same song over and over again. But no, you're supposed to be educating this fan base, expanding this fan base's mentality.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I worked retail, because I knew all the DJs, when I wasn't spinning, I hung out with them. So I knew what they could play at their club. My department would always sell out. Because I knew when I'm buying the music to sell, I'm picking and choosing what's going to sell, because I know who's going to be able to play it at each club. Anytime the DJ came, you need this, here you go, put this down. This is going to work for your crowd.
Yeah, because I do kind of check out certain people's shows, and the next thing you know, there's a full house of people, but there's no, maybe a flyer went out. I don't know who knows how the line goes way around the corner for some show that you just never even heard about, and then maybe I might know about it because I went out maybe the week before and saw the flyer on the floor or something. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Well, there's some of us doing homework that way, or we look to get into that network. There's a whole bunch of folks here that, we meet them and hey, send me your information. Let me know where you're at. So I'll come down and see you, find out more if we have the same mentality.
Yeah.
But you see, there's a whole bunch of fans that have that same mentality.
Yeah.
That's why that line is around the block. That's why they don't even have to deal with any of these. And I don't want to slander nobody, but I'm saying they're assholes, because you're supposed to be bringing us a new product. You're supposed to be bringing us something that we might like, or at least challenging us to think that we do actually want to hear this. Or this new material that's out here. Let us decide whether it's good or not.
Yeah. So,
Go. Novelty Soundbytes. Oh shit.
Anonymous Podcast.
Yeah, I smoked a lot.